What's up guys, today we're reviewing one of the most anticipated full-frame lenses from Tamron, the 35-150mm with an aperture of f2 to 2.8. Even though it was launched at the end of 2021, it has been out of stock as it's still one of the best all-around lenses you can get, so stay tuned as we will go through all of its features in detail. The one I have here is made for the Sony E-mount system. It has a focal length of 35-150mm and an aperture of f2 to 2.8. It has no image stabilization, but it has a quiet VX linear focus motor. It has full weather sealing and the optical construction quality is very good. It has a great magnification and focus distance. It weighs almost 1200 grams and can be found at a price of $1,900. Taking into account the focal range it covers from 35mm all the way up to 150mm, this lens is a solid choice for all types of photography, as you can do portraits and wedding shots, but also street photography. There are two downsides though. It's a pretty heavy lens at almost 1200 grams, and it's also expensive at almost the same price with other professional lenses. But these should not be deal breakers, as the Tamron 35-150mm is really versatile and can be used in all kinds of situations. I think this Tamron is the ultimate portrait lenses of all time. You can do a whole wedding event without taking it off the camera. If you want even more flexibility, you can pair it with the Tamron 20-40mm f2.8. You will have a very practical zoom range whether you are taking portraits of one person or shooting large groups of people. It can replace multiple prime lenses and save you a lot of time changing to different lenses like 35, 50 or 85, or even 135 or 150mm. Of course, some prime lenses can be faster with a 1.4 or 1.8 aperture, giving you the creamiest background blur possible, but at f2 to 2.8 the Tamron creates also a very good bokeh. For everyday use and street photography, I think the Tamron 35-150mm can be a little too much. Its size and weight does make it feel a bit hard to carry around compared to a compact zoom or a fast prime. It does take excellent all-around photos for virtually any type of scenarios with its versatile focal range. But as mentioned earlier, you will have to deal with the added weight while walking around. Regarding the sports and wildlife photography, this lens is fast enough, but it cannot compete with a dedicated zoom that can go all the way up to 600mm. For these specific types of photography, you might be better off getting the Tamron 70-200mm f2.8 lens or even the 200-600mm lens from Sony. The higher the zoom, the better in this case. While the Tamron 35-150mm lens is not specifically designed for landscape photography, its versatile focal range and excellent image quality make it a good option. Additionally, its size and design make it easy to carry on long hikes or backpacking trips, much easier than having with you multiple lenses to swap around. But I would only recommend it only if you also plan to take some portrait shots, as only for landscapes you'd be better off with a more compact lens like the ultra-wide 16-35mm. This Tamron lens performs very well in low-light environments, making it a good option for nightscape photography. Its fast aperture and excellent low-light performance allow for sharp and detailed images. But for astrophotography, I would recommend getting a wider lens as it can capture more of the sky, and also a faster 1.2 or 1.4 aperture would be more useful for capturing the stars. The Tamron 35-150mm lens delivers excellent image quality throughout its zoom range. It boasts sharpness, contrast and color rendition, and it produces beautiful bokeh, especially at the wider end of 35mm with the f2 aperture. It also features Tamron's anti-reflection coating, which helps reduce ghosting and flare, and the images produced have minimal distortion and chromatic aberration. The corner sharpness is not perfect, but this should not be an issue for portrait photography anyway. The lens is not specifically made for macro shots, but it can focus really close, and these types of shots are possible with good results. The Tamron 35-150mm lens features a fast and accurate autofocus system. It locks onto the subjects quickly and accurately, and it is quiet and unobtrusive. However, the autofocus is not perfect. There were times when it felt a little short when compared to other lenses in low light shots, so I advise to take more photos in low light conditions. In everyday use, you will probably not notice it as it delivers accurate results. On video, this lens offers consistent performance, great flexibility again with the range of zoom. Note that it doesn't have optical stabilization, but paired with the Sony a7 III, which has IBIS, the movies came out great. I would not recommend using it without a tripod or on a gimbal, as the body plus lens combo is just too heavy.
You and I'm just like couple of guys, running cold, a meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel that song to be sung, that's to be wrong, wonderful thing to be flown in a modern way. I wanna do what I feel I do today. Yes, you make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel so young.
As mentioned earlier, this lens is made out of a combination of metal and plastic and has a high quality feel to it. It's pretty durable compared to metal-only lens, and the full weather sealing is a great addition, making it perfect to use in any weather condition. There's no denying that it's a heavy lens at almost 1200 grams, but you are indeed getting a few lenses all in one. The Tamron 35-150mm lens has on-body customization buttons that allow you to change from auto to manual focus and the zoom lock switch. You can also customize what the two round buttons do using another switch. One important touch is that finally the zoom ring is closest to the user, a feature that is hard to find on other professional lenses which put the focus ring first. As mentioned before, this lens costs $1,900 or $1,899 if you want. And while it's not cheap, it's around the same price to get in multiple lenses it replaces to be able to achieve the same range of focal length. For this reason alone, I think it's an excellent value for money. In conclusion, the Tamron 35-150mm f2.2.8 lens is an excellent choice for photographers looking for a versatile zoom lens that delivers top-notch performance and features at a reasonable price point. Its fast aperture, excellent image quality and customizable control ring make it a great option for a wide variety of photography types. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this lens and also about your own experience with it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe buttons. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.